Welcome back. You're watching Morning Cafe. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's Relationship Wednesday, and right about now, what we're talking about is something you're going to love. As always, this show is comical, interesting, and very, very interactive. So we want to invite you to be part of it. We're talking about why men should fear women. You see the phrase where they say men fear women, but I think we should also say women fear men. Lakini today, it's men fear women. So interact with us. Our socials are on the screen. TV47 Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. There is a line on your screen, a phone number as well. You can call in to just be part of this conversation. As always, we'll be happy to hear what you have to say regarding whatever we are talking about today. So is this just a stereotype, or is it caution or something much deeper? That is the question you're asking today. And on social media, on Ask X, my handle is @an_dida. The question you're asking there is, what is that one scenario that made you realize that you should indeed fear women? And if you've never gotten to this point, what do you think of the phrase fear women? Karibuni sana, ladies and gentlemen. Sagini, what do you make of the phrase fear women? When you hear it, what comes to mind?
According to my understanding, or rather the way most people take it, the phrase sometimes this misused, sometimes this well used. According to my take, I can say that the quote, fear women, is that we have those women who are quoted that they are independent. So sometimes when approached, it is difficult for a man to challenge them. They are not, I can't say they are not ready to submit. They take men to be of their same equal.
Below them.
Exactly. So it is a challenge for men. That's why men mostly do term them as they need to be feared. That's my small take.
So it's more about men feeling intimidated by women.
Exactly.
Esther, what do you make of that line? Wanaume wakisema fear women, what comes to mind?
For me, I believe this statement carries a different connotation depending on different context, society or personal experience. First of all, fear, it could be psychological. It could be maybe through personal experience. It's not necessarily the physical fear. And this, it's maybe how you respect someone's behavior, how you respect, or how you try to, that's the gender role. Yeah.
All right. Fear women. Kwa nini? Why fear women? Soft girls, we're just girls, literally. So why fear women?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Mr. Robert Makoha Angoho from Nakuru. That is the president of Bunge la Mwananchi. In my own personal opinion, I believe that women, if we are to go as per the quote, they are naturally feared, and I don't see if men themselves normally see a problem with that, because maybe, if they've been able to contain that assertion and stay with them, it is not real that actually it is the real fearing, but just to be cautious maybe in a way. But anyway, that is how they have been ever since, and men, I think they're used to it.
So cautious of what, Robert? Okay,
you know, there are so many scenarios that surround this that actually cautions men against the women. Maybe just to quote, for example, today, if we went to the restaurant with you, I'm most likely to order for githeri. You as a woman, you're likely to order for chips kuku. You see? Now as a woman, somehow you love yourself so much. That is just one. Another one, if you are a man, in most cases, there are so many things that you are likely to endure just to make a woman a happy being. But in turn, if it is the case for a woman, she's likely to actually do the actual opposite. For example, today, I may not be appreciated for doing a very nice thing to a lady that I love.
Why are you dating women who don't love you if they can't appreciate you, Robert?
No, I'm just giving an example. It is not Robert.
That's your
dating,
example
actually.
is in a band. That
Okay, finally.
Okay.
Finally, in a scenario whereby two people are in a relationship, maybe they are working at different places, these people have got money. You realize that women can even amass a lot of wealth without the knowledge of a man. And you see, the lady is still depending on a man for the upkeep and other things in the house. So that is one of the reasons also as to why men can actually fear,
women.
consider fearing women. Yeah.
All right. Rejoice, why do you think men, there are some men who actually live up to that line, fear women. And even as Robert says that sometimes he doesn't see a reason why women should be feared. And my other question is it just a social media hype, Amatuni stereotype? What comes to mind when you think of that line?
All right, thank you. So first of all, I want to take the word fear in this context to mean caution or respect. And with that understanding, I want to concur with today's topic that indeed men should fear women. And not just men, even women and other sexes that exist should actually fear women. And I also thought about the same thing on why is it that we have a discussion on which gender should be feared, which gender should not be feared. We should also reflect on the societal, like you said, on social media and everything, on the societal and historical behaviors that have led to these discussions today. Yes.
So Rejoice, you would say that men should actually fear Rejoice?
I've just defined fear in this context as caution or respect rather than intimidation. So yes, and like our senior counsel Mother Karua likes to say, you either respect me, fear me, or both. So yes.
Daisy, what's your take on that?
Thank you so much. I think the phrase fear women or fear men, ultimately it's based on fearing that individual behavior that someone's possessed rather than the gender. Again, when we go back to the Bible, you look at Eve. She was cheated, or rather persuaded by a snake, and that is where he came and manipulated Adam to eat the apple. So again, I will encourage every man to fear a woman. There's a reason. There's some reasons. They possess some behaviors which will definitely bring that phrase for the men to fear women.
Doris, do you agree that the phrase men should fear women, they should actually live up to it?
Yes.
It's on?
I think men should fear women. This is because modern women have standards and expectations. So many standards and expectations. And in this era, we have many independent women. So hakuna vile huyu mwanaume atakuja ni badilisha niambie do this, do this. I have my own standards and expectation in life. Yeah.
All right.
So men should fear women. Yeah.
Gladson is here. Karibu sana Gladson. I would love to know your opinion on that. When we say fear women, or when you say fear women, what comes to mind? Do you actually mean it? Amatun is stereotyping women.
So first, good morning, and I'm happy to be here. So first, I will say this. One of the things that differentiate human beings from animals, because according to science and biology, we are both animals, but what makes us stand out is the ability to deceive and lie. So in most cases, we can say that both gender can lie when it comes to giving too much lie. In fact, men lie the most when it comes to, they're not actually lying, but they're cunning in some ways. However, there are instances whereby now there is this phrase that always says that when a woman decides to take revenge, even the Satan sits down to take notes. You see? So, anashindwa hii ilianza wapi. So, women are to be feared because they take their time in response because they are emotional beings. So they will actually take in a lot of stuff, a lot of deception, a lot of bad, poor environment, and so many stuffs. However, the thing that distinguishes now men from women is that as much as men will react quickly, women will take even a year or two to study how to destroy you. And once they decide it's now time to act, my friend, you will be looking at a woman like this, unashindwa hii nguvu yote alitoa wapi. You see? So women can be feared from that aspect, and also from the relationship point of view. Some of the women that we date, I can say ladies. Women is okay?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
we're women.
So some of the women that you date, you can find they have very crazy and funny way of doing things. For example, someone can love you because of something that you have. For example, I want to go to school and I'm a lady. So, and I know you are my gate pass to read. So I will make sure I show you all the love that you require, all the attention and everything that is in it, so that by the end of the day, when I tell you, babe, pesa ya semester hii mwezi unanipea, teacher amesema we are going to do something unanipea. Then at the end of it all, wakati nimegraduate, nikipewa hivi certificate, niseme na ile siku nimepatiwa divorce paper or maybe separation paper. So I will leave you in a way that hata mwenye ushindwe huyu mtu niliwahi mpea hata shilingi moja. It likes you turn into a devil in one day. So yeah, in such cases I will say definitely fear women.
So we put price tag on love. That is what you're saying, Gladson.
Not actually a price tag, but it's just like when it comes to ways of fearing women, I'm just trying to bring a context here whereby women can actually do things mpaka mwenyewe anze kujiuliza huyu mtu hata ako na roho ama kuna kitu kingine na pampu damu hapa ndani.
All right. The question that we were asking on social media this morning is, what is that one scenario that made you realize that you should indeed fear women? And if you've never gotten to this point, then what do you think of the line or the phrase, fear women? We have a few responses on X. I think we can get the first few slides before we continue, then we can get a reaction to them. Director? If you can have them on the screen. There we go. We have Nyakundi Omurwa saying, the day I found out that I was one of her 4 boyfriends. Another one. That is Nyakundi Omurwa. Ashira is saying, after taking care of pregnancy to birth, weeks after birth, she told me I'm not the dad to the kid. 10 years down the line, she is back again that the kid resembles me at a hakiogopi. That is Ashira. Kindly, yes. Saint Marsh is saying she actually dated the guy I constantly complained about. This one is saying, this is Shilton. This is Duo, and he's saying, Dako Okendano is a phrase my mom would easily remind us. It loosely translates to, the mom used to say that a woman is not a human being. A woman is not a human being. Dako Okendano. Okelos Furniture is saying, I don't know where she took my, my black book because things are not okay on my side nowadays. Just a reaction to the first few ones that we've received. Of course, before we, there's this one. I should be in this panel. I have set alarm here 12 midnight. Wake up via women for 10 minutes, then go back to sleep. This is our director, by the way. A reaction to that. Let's start with this again.
What I can say from the reaction is that this is a precaution. That women can be manipulative, they can be unpredictable. I think from what we have seen there is that most from the reactions is that what the men or the boyfriend is expected from their girlfriend wasn't the case. They reacted contrary to the expectation of their boyfriends. So from that, in a nutshell, I can say that women are unpredictable. They can be manipulative, and at the end of the day, they can cause harm emotionally and even socially, that's what I can say in a nutshell. Yeah. You can't tell the next reaction of a girlfriend, even when you have done your level best to treat her well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert?
Yes, okay. From my own point of view, I say that I think the term reveals or rather defines who a real woman is. Yes, I started by somehow defending them, but on the other side of the coin, I can say that the word fear is actually exposing what the real thing is. If I may give an example to accompany my allegations, for example, I've come across a scenario whereby a gentleman was actually working in abroad and sending his woman money, but this woman will come out to talk to her friends that, you know what, the money that he sends me back here in Kenya, I use that money for the upkeep of my mpango akando boyfriend. You see? So with that one, you cannot say that maybe the definition is different from the real act. But actually, for that one, you have to fear women because, you know, whereby you are expressing your emotions on somebody, thinking that they feel you, thinking that you are assisting them out. At the same time, their hearts are not with you. They are concentrating on totally different people. So, fear women.
All right, Gladson, let's just start with the men first so that we can now come back to women. Tumona reactions pale. How women are doing men, they're seeing bad things. So a reaction to that?
Yeah, so first, I want also to start with a short story that I had, which I personally took part in. I had a friend, a lady friend, who was alikuwa amemaliza to university recently, and she got married to a wealthier man. So she used to tell us a story kwamba mimi, by the way, I have 3 men. I have 3 men. I have mwenye akona pesa, who is my husband. Alafu ule mwenye akona sura poa na ni well physique, huyo ni wakunipea watoto. Then niko na huyu mwingine sasa, huyu naye sasa yeye ni mzuri, is very romantic. So yeye kazi yake ni hiyo. So namuuliza, so what does hizi vitu zote zina happen? Anasema mimi, I cannot allow this ugly rich man anipe watoto. I cannot raise my ugly kids in a castle. I need handsome men and beautiful women in a castle. So kwake akawa anaona kama is an issue to her. So if you see someone doing that, you can imagine the rich guy ana raise kids wenye anajua 100% these are not my, ajui 100% these are my kids, but yeye kwake ana believe they are his kids. Now the lady does not feel anything about it. Juzi kumekuwa na a scenario whereby a research was done recently showing that at least 98% of women leave a generation behind, but only 45% of men manage to do that. So you can imagine a percentage of close to 50% of men wanalea watoto sio wao, that they don't know. Now you can imagine the woman keeping this secret to death. So you can imagine if you were to open the women's hearts and just look at them and maybe do a surgery, alafu uanze kuangalia what they have in them. Trust me, probably all men watasema sisi wacha tukae single tu hivi tuende tu na tukijua kwamba we never said anything or we never had anything in this one. However, I think as much as we are saying mambo na fear women, which is okay, also women, I can come to their defense and say that these women are also the most easily to tame creatures as compared to men. Because I think easy vitu when a woman decides to do all these things, it's practically a reaction to something. So what I can say is that as a man, always remain in control of so many things that you are doing, because at the end of the day, as much as we will try to blame the woman for these things, there is a percentage yako ya kwamba probably didn't do due diligence to look at these things. Kwa sababu some of us, we date for various things which are very funny. For example, someone is beautiful, or maybe someone is bright.
Trophy wife.
So you see, instead of looking at the background of this girl, uliza hata walikuwa tunaambiwa kitambo kwamba if you want to marry a lady, enda area yao, alafu talk to the boda guys. ask them, huyu dem anakuaga aje. Watabodaboda, they will tell you everything you need to know about that girl. So when you do due diligence on such, if the report that you get about a woman, utajua kwamba, is this the person for me or not? But if you decide to go the way whereby I want a trophy, not a wife, then definitely, unasemanga kitakuramba, na kikuramba, you'll be looking left, right and center, unajipata uko 50, 60 years, you are no longer able to start a new family because even time is not on your side. Then utaanza kusema to let me now initiate the remaining 20 or 10 years fearing women to the end. Hapo unasikiaga unaambiwa kwamba anytime you have, even if you have 2 minutes, use 1.5 minutes to fear women, then the 30 minutes to advise others to fear women too.
We are also fearing men. We are also taking time to fear men. But Daisy, you know, you're one of the people who say that actually men should fear women. But now that we're talking about real life scenarios, my question is, have you done something that you think should make a man or give a man a reason to fear you, kama Daisy?
Personally, siwezi kosa.
Okay.
Yeah. Women kwanza, they are unpredictable. Yeah, so mwanamke ni ule mtu anaweza kufanya, you apologize for a mistake yenye wewe mwenyewe umefanya. And you have to apologize for that mistake. Like, they are emotionally complex. Okay, this in a personal, okay, I want to share my personal example here. You'll be shocked. Let me talk about this woman in the Bible, Jezebel.
Okay.
You see, this woman, Jezebel, Jezebel, let's talk about Samson.
Okay.
So this woman who was secretly, what was her name again?
Delilah?
Delilah, yeah. She went for the first time, asked Samson, what is the secret to your strength? Samson, I guess, answered her. That was the first time. The second time she asked again. And when she saw it, that it was not working. The third time, he now pampered Samson, asked him again, what is the secret to your strength? And Samson told him, the razors never touched my hair. What she did, Delilah did, she called, I guess, I don't know which kind of soldiers or something. She was paid for 30 pieces of silver, I guess. And she had Samson's hair shaved. So again, you should fear women. That was the lover, I guess. It was just the husband. You know someone's strength and you want to bring him down. Again, women are manipulative. And they have that emotional intelligence. A woman has her way with emotions. A woman can cry. She's lying, but she can cry and manipulate you.
We even have a biblical reference from Daisy there, but we have a caller from Buruburu. Good morning. Is it Morris? All right, so good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just listening to your conversation. It's quite interesting. But why should men fear us? Yes, they are normally the problem.
Yes.
We should take every 30 minutes, even 30 seconds in every minute to fear men.
I agree. Thank you so much.
Hao ndio wanatuvunja moyo bwana. Hao ndio wanatuonyesha kukuru kakra. You know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in. Do appreciate it. I want a reaction to that. Rejoice. So that we can get the men to react to that. Since we are just girls, why should men fear us?
Exactly.
Aside from whatever you said, you gave a reference to respect and fear or both. But now in a relationship setting, really, why should men fear women?
Really, I want to encourage fellow men. In fact, they're the only ones who should be feared in terms of intimidation and the negative fear. As women, we are soft, we are harmless. They should not fear us in the, in the negative manner. When it comes to in the negative manner, maybe them, it is us to fear them. But as for us, we are really harmless, we are soft, we just have soft power, we are not masculine. They should not fear us in that manner.
All right. I want us to take a very short break, but we're coming back with a reaction to that call. So, even as we go on that very short break, just internalize what our caller has talked about. We're talking about fear women. Why? Why should you fear women? Talk to us on our socials, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be right back.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's mind. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. It's Relationship Wednesday. The conversation this morning is fear women. So why should men actually fear women? And funny enough, the women are also saying that women should be feared. So that's the conversation you're having this morning. Interact with us on our socials. Call in as well. There is a number on your screen. We'll most definitely be happy to hear from you. Sagini, a reaction to that caller that we just had before we went on that very short break. Women are harmless. So why should you fear women?
From one point, I can agree with the lady who has made a call that women are harmless through their voice.
Through their voice?
Even from the outlook. Even from the outlook, there's that culture you can say this lady, honestly, she's harmless, unless provoked, or that, unless maybe she gets financially confused, that's when you can tell the character of that lady. Unless his boyfriend or other husband gets financially confused, that's when you can tell the real character of that lady. So what I can say is that harmless doesn't define or rather can't tell that the reason as to why you should not fear women. We have women whom a person can't tell that this lady is ruthless or rather behaves bad, or rather in a bad way with his husband. What happens is that pretense and hypocrisy is what is happening amongst we people. That's from men's side and even women. So the solution I can say, not unless the only thing which can validate the point of that lady, which can make a man and a woman to live well, is for a woman to understand her Lord, to respect her husband, and most importantly, to know that there's a difference between a man and a woman, even when you were in the same financial status. Yeah.
Right. We're coming back to that reaction, but let's hear from Gilbert. Gilbert is calling from Mombasa. Good morning, Gilbert.
Yeah, how are you, madam?
Talk to us.
Yeah, my name is Gilbert.
Okay.
I'm watching the show.
Thank you so much.
I agree. Men should see women badly. Because women are opportunists.
Because women are?
Opportunists.
Okay.
In their nature. Yeah.
All right. That was short and to the point.
Women are just big opportunists. You do everything you can, better than they leave you hanging. Yeah, that's all I have.
All right. Women are opportunists. Doris.
Opportunistic.
Okay, a reaction to that. Na kuna mtu amesema huko si uongo. Nimemsikia.
Okay.
It's on. Just
it's on.
Yes, go on.
Okay, in this era, plus the economy, plus everything, I think everyone wants where there is opportunity, where there is support. I can't go where there is no support. If this man is not supporting me, why am I there? Yeah. So I think I'll chip in where there is a lot of support. Yeah.
Doris, you've just validated Sagini's point, but we'll come to that. Esther, a reaction to that?
It's true, we are opportunistic. And for instance, let me just give a small scenario. Like you have a guy, he has nothing to offer, and another guy who has a lot of offers. Like, okay, with this economy that we have, actually I'll not go for the guy who has nothing to offer. I'll go for the person when you like, I know like tomorrow I'll have something. So when I go to this guy, tutaka tu hivyo, okay, hata kama kona dreams and doing nothing, you know, he's not helping. But this guy, he has a lot to offer, and I got my dreams, so I get what I'm getting. I achieve my dreams, and life continues. Yeah.
Rejoice, you know, we are also in an era where men nowadays also ask, what are you bringing to the table, you know? So at a man, if you're talking about being opportunistic, can't we say that, sahi kila mtu anaangalia what are you bringing to the table, so it's not only women?
Yeah, I actually wanted to disagree that women are opportunistic. It is both genders.
Yes.
Because when you speak of young women going for babas, we're also speaking of young men going for the Mama Waharia, right?
Yes.
So in that case, it is both genders. And again, they say that, you know, this thing of women first in regards to other things. But right now, start dishing out maybe some cash. You see, I'm seated here, but my brother is nyuma yangu hapa. You will not let me be first there. Ama ukweli ama uongo. Everyone will fight towards getting that cash you're giving. So I disagree that women are opportunistic. Both genders, we all love opportunities, and we go where we see good opportunities. Yeah.
Gladson?
First, I'll say this. Being ambitious is different from being opportunistic. Because, you see, being ambitious is just you looking about what favors you, what will make you better as a person, and what can escalate maybe your career, your life, your quality of health-wise and stuff like that. But when it comes to opportunities in life, we also love opportunities. However, the main problem or the main difference between an opportunistic and just a person looking for opportunity is one. What are you willing to do to get it? That is the thing. So, for example, if I am working hard, if maybe I just want maybe a woman who will kickstart my career, or maybe will just be my helper in terms of ideas and everything of that sort, that does not make me an opportunistic person. I just want someone when I feel I need a helper. I just need a helper. Mtu niko na business idea. How can I make it work? So if I look for a girl mwenye nafikiria atanisaidia kufikiria. Unaona? Unaona this is an asset, because no one wants a liability.
Yeah.
Mtu mwenye unamuuliza, by the end niko na 100,000 hapa, unaona nifanye nini, anakuambia wa sasa utadu. Na vile sasa hii Kenya kuanzisha biashara ni ngumu, a lot of unapata mtu kama huyo, so you're like check, I came for an advice, or ananiambia nitadu and stuff like that. So lakini kuna mwingine mmoja atakwambia now let's brainstorm, akupea ideas, so mpe ideas, muongee mpaka mna reach mahali. Unaona hiyo ni mtu different. However, what we're talking about here ni these people wanaitwanga wanavuna wasipopanda. Those are the people we're talking about. And those are different. I will see now, if you call a lady opportunistic, you are okay if ako kwa hii category ya unavuna usipopanda. Kama wewe umekuja tu, kuna wale mwenye yeye, I was telling my friends hapa kwamba kuna wale msichana mwenye anakuoa kwa sababu anataka kutoroka kwao. Kuna wale mwenye anakuoa because anajua this is the only way for me to get rich. So yeye amekuja tu pale not for the love, not for the affection, but just to use you as a ladder. Hata wewe kama msichana ukisikia mtu amekuja kwako kukutumia kama ladder, definitely tutamwambia na I'm not interested. Even our kina the mama wa Haria na our babas, if you look at how this lady earns the 10,000, hata mwenye utajiambia this girl is earning the 10,000. You know, so they are working for it behind the scenes. They can't show kwa social media kwamba we are actually working for this thing. Ni ngumu. Ndio hiyo 10,000 itoke kwa huyu mbabas. Hiyo haria upewe ama hiyo audi fulani unataka itoke. If you sit down with this girl akuexplainie how she is earning what she's earning, it's a hustle. Hata yeye mwenyewe unamkanga 8 to 5 job, you are at a better place. So me I can say this. Women can tolerate a lot. Na pia that is also a factor that we can use as a fear factor, fear of fearing women. A lady can persevere in a place as long as anapata chenye nataka, utamuua kikaa tu hapo. Unaona? But for a man mtu, even a simple disrespect. For example, anakuambia nikikuja jioni nipate umepika nyama. Then wewe out of your wisdom unanunua kuku. Kwa mwanaume that's a problem. Unaona? Ataanza tu, so umeanza kuni disrespect kwa hii nyumba, when I give orders you're not following and stuff like that. So men wanakuanga physical in the expression, it's immediate. But for a lady ata-absorb as much as possible na anakuangalia tu hivi. Hata kuna mwingine aliniambia, my friend, you should respect women. Imagine poison is just 50 shillings na nakupikenga kila siku na you still manage to wake up in the morning. So na vitu hizo. So they can stomach a lot. You can disturb them a lot, but they can also persevere and take in a lot to an extent that mtu anaweza ishi na wewe miaka 50, lakini akikwambia story ameundergo through na huyu husband wake, you will be like, msee, na huku toka kitambo aje. Then so vitu kama hizo, when it comes to that, afu ambue fear women, definitely will fear them because men can't do that.
Let's get this call from Naivasha. Mambo, good morning.
Good morning.
Talk to us.
Aniaje madam?
Salama sana.
Okay, unaongea na Frasha Mambo huyu. Okay, sasa mmeleta mjadala mzuri. Kuokopa mwanamke. Title nasema take time to fear women. That is correct. Hiyo ni ukweli kabisa. Sababu unajua sasa sisi huwa tuna date tu mtu, labda tunakutana na mtu alafu tunamdate. Na mwisho baadaye inatuletea shida, lakini sasa ukimpa time ya kumsomanisha huyu mtu ujue ako namna gani, home namna gani, unapata mambo kama ya kumuokopa ama kumsoma ile weakness yenye yako nayo, unapata hiyo, unapata iko sawa. Sasa unaweza mrelate ama unaweza mleta kwa familia mkakaa na yeye. Unampa time, msomanishe kwanza madam. Unaona? Haili sasa kama utaleta tu ulete mtu labda si akusuit, si mtu mwenye mtakaa na yeye vizuri. Unajua sasa ukioa mke pia mke atakuwa ni kama mwalimu wa watoto wako, atakuwa kama engineer, atakuwa daktari, unapata? Si kuoa tu. Ni Frasha Mambo huyu.
Asante sana Mambo for your call. Si kuoa tu. So should we get to a point now we start doing due diligence before getting into relationships or getting married? Now how do we get to that level where you're just not getting into a relationship or a marriage because any liability, you know, but you're actually venye Gladson anasema actually a helper, not necessarily 50-50, just a helper. Rejoice.
Okay, so before getting into a relationship, you're not supposed to get into a relationship because somebody's bringing what on the table. Who is bringing what on the table? I think the basic, the bedrock of a relationship should be love. Because even in the Bible, unajua wanasemanga women should submit to the men, but they don't read up mbele. You know, inasemanga, and men, love your women like Christ loved the church. So in as much as they tell the women to submit, can they also love us like Christ loved the church? And if you try to analyze how Christ loved the church, number one, he loved the church that he died at the cross for the church. So can men also be ready to die for us? As you get in that relationship and you want to tell your woman, she has to submit to me. I've had the caller that anasema anampima kama anaweza submit before mpeleke kwa watu wao. Is he also ready to love the woman like Christ loved the church? Yeah, so should be not 50-50, but if they go towards that thinking or thought of submitting, then let them be ready to love the women like Christ loved the church. Yes.
Perfect. Esther, a reaction to Gilbert's call. Kukupima kama uko submissive before akupeleke nyumbani.
First, before tufike kwa kupima, I feel in relationship, what we fear most is rejection. And if you have faced through rejection, you'll fear going back to another relationship. So kama unanipima, pia mimi nitaanza kukupima, tunapimana. And kwa kupimana, kama una nguvu, either tunatoshana, we continue the relationship, but due to maybe your rejection, you find people tunapotea hapo kwa kupimana. Kwa kupimana. So I just say, kama umenipenda, usinipime.
We nipende.
We nipende. Juu unaweza nipima, unipoteze. No, ukinipenda, we just continue the journey. Yeah.
All right. Doris, I want to bring you back to a question I asked Daisy. You know, you were one of the ladies who were saying that men should actually fear women. But now the question is, what have you done before? Or have you done something that hadi wewe ukasema yenyewe men should fear me kama Doris?
Personally, sina hiyo instant ya atifia Doris. Yeah. Juu mimi, like, I was heartbroken several times. So, mi hakuna vile nitasema ati they should fear me.
So, basi men should not fear women.
Nimepitia a lot, but hearing stories from my friends, from other women, yeah, I can say fear women.
For what they've done to men.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe
I
you
have
can
a friend
share.
who can date 4 men at the same time. Yeah. Na wote hawajuani. And
Alright,
they
let's
can
just
meet
kando.
all the 4 men.
Let's get feedback kidogo tusome tuone watu wanasema nini. This one is Mzee Olembo from Eldred. He's saying, this young man and women, they think love is just money, respect women, and also man respect a woman. That is Olembo. We have another one here. It's quite long. Men should fear women because they have the uncanny ability to remember things said in passing 5 years ago, decode text messages like FBI agents, and turn "I'm fine" into the most terrifying of phrase in history. They can steal hoodies with no intention of returning them, win arguments with just a look, and somehow know what you're thinking before you do. Plus, if a woman ever says, do whatever you want, run, because freedom has never been more dangerous. Mwana venye kitu ni mrefu. A reaction to that. Let's start with you, Robert.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity once again. Yeah. In my humble opinion, I will say that to the contrary of the topic of discussion, and when it comes to the reaction of the point that you just read to us, rather than considering fearing women, I think we must first begin by asking ourselves why the woman is there in the first place, and whether it is optional, even biblically, or one must have a woman near him. Personally, I think rather than categorizing women, or rather coming up with the assumption that we must fear them, understanding their ways is the best thing, because you realize that in most cases, these women also behave in such a manners because of a manner in which a man may have reacted, or the nature of a man may also drive a woman to behave in a manner that portrays her to be feared. For example, today out there, a person can give you an example whereby this woman has been tolerating staying with a man who is not maybe capable of performing some of his duties in the house. But since this woman do not want to run away from the man, is tolerating the man, you see, it compels the woman to go out of the house, out of their marriage, to do the unthinkable, just maybe to satisfy her soul and all that, by not altering their marriage. You see?
Yeah.
You cannot now say that this woman must be feared, yet in real sense pengine huyo hata hana nguvu za kiume. Have you come across a scenario similar to that one? At the same time, as men, sometimes we end up beating even our women. Some women have been battered out there and they are silent. So sometimes they go an extent of maybe being feared, yes, but a man deserves maybe to be treated in that manner. You remember a case in Ukambane, there was a lady whose limbs were chopped off. I don't know whether people can remember. Yeah, and when she was interviewed, that lady alleged that actually the husband could not sire children with her. And that on that fateful day, she decided to go and meet a man in Machakos town. So after the man found out, it's when he followed her. You see now, the woman was hiding the nakedness of the man. He could not perform his conjugal rights in the right manner, maybe. But you see, on the realization that the woman had cheated on him, what did he do? He almost killed the woman. So to some extent, in as much as we are trying to say or to portray women as the people who should only be feared, men should also ask themselves, what parameters bring about the mischievous side of a woman to look as if she's a creature to be feared. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is a very, very good point, and I know the women watching would love that point. Let's take a very, very short break, but we're coming back with a reaction to this very, very long message. They can steal hoodies with no intention of returning them, win arguments with just a look, and somehow know what you're thinking before you do. So let's internalize that. We are coming back in a short while.
is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water?
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls and even somebody who's above that age, you can pay at least every 3 years. Somebody should have a pap smear done.
If you are 40, 45, 50, going upwards, once a year.
On our socials as well, send in your comments. We'll be happy to sample them and read them out loud so that our panel can be able to react to them. But before we went on that break, we were reading this comment here that says women can somehow know what you're thinking about, of course, before you even say it. Is that really an issue of concern? Should it be an issue of concern, or do we actually, as women, do that to you guys? Sagini.
The conversation is interesting. What I can say in first, in a summative way, to react to what my friends had said earlier, concerning the issue with finances. In fact, the big subject here is that we have good women outside here. And equally on the other side, we have got characters whom I can say they are not good, depending on how they react. So what I can say is that we have women who are always treated well. The man provides, the man is always available whenever there's an issue. Maybe if she's working somewhere, a man lashes there to pick her. But at the end of the day, you get that this lady, the same lady, is cheating with maybe a colleague. What I can say is that in as much as my friend says that we men, we must check on ourselves before we say that we fear women, I agree with that. Before you judge someone, consider yourself first. Is my reactions, my character as well? Or rather, are they the one provoking this lady to behave the way she is doing? So that must be considered as well. Secondly, concerning how one need to be cautious or rather careful, I agree with that. You don't need to lash to someone because you want to date because maybe she's big-bodied, big-buttocked. You need to be cautious. Is this lady worthy me, character-wise? How is she? I think you need to be observant before you associate with that individual, either as a girlfriend or rather as a boyfriend.
Daisy, I would love to get your reaction on Sagini's comment that men need to be cautious, around women. What is it that we as women do that should actually give them a reason to just be cautious around us? As I know we mentioned Delilah, you've given us that biblical reference, but what would you say is that one thing that as women we are making having men in such situations or positions where they are very, very cautious when they're around women?
Thank you for the question. First, we should all agree that woman is a necessary evil. You can't do without a woman. A woman is someone you can give a house and she gives you a home. So again, but women, as I earlier said, they are unpredictable. Woman can just come ask you several questions. Maybe ameona a certain character in you. Anakuja, she asks a lot of questions. Oh, ujui anataka aje, but she's asking a lot of questions to verify or to satisfy her what she thinks of you. So, again, we have agreed that before loving a woman, you should look for someone who you can tame. A woman, ukimtreat vizuri, she will behave. But again, if you show her that you are violent, you can like una dominate somewhere, utaki kumsikia, she will show you that evil side of her. I believe all women have that evil side in them.
All women
have that evil side. Yeah, pia mimi kuna tu venye sahi uneneza kaa hivi naona hapo utaki kunielewa, nitakuonesha that other side of me na hautapenda. Yeah, so I think women generally should be feared.
All right. Samoi, karibu sana to the conversation. We are talking about men fear women. Do you agree to that, or what comes to mind when you hear that phrase, men fear women?
Thank you so much. When it comes to the phrase of fear, men should fear women, the phrase can be interpreted as a phrase that is used to empower women or a stereotype. So first of all, men should not really basically understand women. You'll never understand a woman. One woman varies from another. So I think we should take that phrase because you see, in the current times, women have been leading in governance, in businesses, and generally life. So men should fear women on the spaces that they are taking. And also you see, a woman can manipulate a man emotionally. It's easy for me to convince someone compared to another man convincing someone. So the emotional part of women, that's what men should fear, but they should not fear women. Generally, women are good people. As DC has said, you'll give a woman a house and she'll give you a home. So I think it's the trust that you need to put in a woman for you not to fear them, but to fear their emotional intelligence. Yes.
So how now do we differentiate between empowering women and labeling women as dangerous in relationships? Because now if they have to be cautious, that means there is an aspect where a woman is now becoming dangerous to this particular man.
You see, first, the actions of a woman, it's not an action, it's a reaction on how you treat them. If you treat them right, you'll find a better reaction. But if you are there shouting at them, blaming them, giving excuses about them, they'll give you a negative reaction. They won't even listen to you. They won't even give you an ear. But you see, when it comes to you placing a trust in a woman, telling them that I feel you can govern this, I feel you can do this, that gives them more confidence and trust in you. So if you want to empower a woman, we should, first of all, show them that you trust them, show them that they are capable. And also the dangerous bit, we should understand to... When a woman acts this way, you should understand how to react also. Because women will act and be like, oh, I'm just a girl. But you see, for a man, the society expects you to always be the right person and also act right. So I think when you need to empower a woman, you need to trust them, show them that, yeah, you can. Yeah, this is it. So, but then when you come to a dangerous bit, traditionally, men have been always told, be cautious about women. Women have nothing to lose. Yeah.
Interesting. Rejoice, how now do we differentiate between empowering women and now labeling them as dangerous? Because now men are saying they have to be cautious around women.
Now, thank you for that question. It's a very crucial question, by the way, because people find it hard, and especially men, to understand why we keep on saying women empowerment, why not men empowerment? This is the reason why there's a lot of efforts to empower women in this century. If you look at the historical inequalities that have been done, it has been against women. Remember, we are coming from a time when the first parliament of Kenya, between 1963 to 1969, had no single woman. We are coming from a time when women were just subjects in this country. They were not citizens in their own country. And they were not even given identity cards, that is IDs, commonly known kipande by then. So we are trying to balance this equation because as for a society to thrive, there is a need of equilibrium. And that is why we keep on saying women empowerment. And you can see, even despite all the efforts, we have not been able to achieve that. Because you look even at the current parliament that we have, it should be disbanded because you've not achieved the equality that we need. So I want to encourage the men that complain about, oh, women, we are being empowered, sana, due to our Peter. It's not a competition at all. It's just to balance the society, because without an equilibrium society, we cannot go far as a nation, and even as a globe.
All right, Esther, when we keep on saying fewer women, and you know we have a generation that, of course, is coming after us, how do you think this is affecting them in any way? Is it affecting their confidence, even as they grow up and hear these phrases, fewer women, fewer women? Do you think this is doing anything to them in any way?
Before I answer that, let me add a quote to empowering women. I say, empowering women does not mean disempowering men. Actually, it's we come together, we create a balanced society. That is balanced gender thrive. Okay, now, take time to fear women. The picture that we are going to portray, or how we are taking this point, determines how our young ones will take it, whether they will take it positively or negatively. For me, I'd just say, if you have let's say for me, I'm an inclusive advocate. I do through it acting. I'd rather act it in a positive way, maybe in schools. I show them fearing women, take to in a positive way, nisiwaonyeshe the negative part. Okay, for instance, kama mtu ametoka in a home where mom, unajua kuna zile home mama do uchapa mzee. And kuna watoto wameaffectwa na that part, and mzee pia hizi enda kureport juu uko zile za shwali unachapwa aje na bibi yako. You know, there is that stigma in the society. So to bring that child or person closer, ama kumwonyesha you can change this. For me, I know people they love my acting. Kama ni dancing, there is a way I can create it to waone kumbe si mbaya, it's good. I can change my home to this way. I can do this to make my family better. Yeah.
All right. Doris, do you think that the phrase fear women, when you talk about it now, it's causing unnecessary gender divide in any way?
First, I want to add to what Joy said about the empowerment of women. I think men feel like we are a threat when they empower us, of which they can impress what they normally say, when you educate a woman, you educate the society. So that brings an equality. Yeah. So I want to answer that. Repeat the question.
Do you think when you talk about fear women, it's causing unnecessary gender divide?
Yeah, because even in the Constitution, I think it is Article 81 B, where they want to, we have that 2/3 gender role. So if we have that fear women, we will not have many women in the governance, since men will not vote for those women, so that there will be no competition in the governance.
All right. Gladstone, you know, when we were starting this conversation, Robert here made a very, very interesting comment that men mostly are cautious because they just want to make a woman happier. So it all comes down to trying to impress this lady. But what if really a woman wasn't in the picture, you know, that you want to live up to a certain way to try and impress that woman. What if she wasn't in the picture at all? You do everything every day and night to impress a woman. What do you make of that statement? That is why he's saying that men are cautious because they want to impress women.
Yeah, okay. Let us talk about we can't answer that question without looking at the nature of men.
Yeah.
Who is a man? A man is a person who was born to dominate, feel appreciated, and always remain in control. Those three things. And if you deny a man any of the three, he will feel less of a man. And since he has to remain the lion who roars in the jungle and everyone else runs, then things go way haywire. So the point is very correct, because when we get into a relationship with a woman or any other person, even if it's our kids or at work or anywhere else, the only thing that we always want to do is we need to be felt. As much as people love being seen, men need to leave an impact. So everything I'll be doing, especially if I love a girl, wholly, I will live my life to make sure that girl feels appreciated, feels happy, and everything else. And men can go to an extent. They can, to a very large extent. And we always say this thing: if you find a man is stingy or looks like maybe let's say selfish, that man has not loved you. You too. Don't stop saying that you is stingy or man. Nah, you're wasting your time. When we talk about relationship, it's simple. It's simple like that. Because men, when we sit down hivi hata asubuhi tukiamka, wanga tuna imagine tu huyo msichana wetu amekula, ako poa, is okay, anakaa vizuri, because hata sisi wanga we always feel nice when we walk on the streets and appreciate who we are working with. In fact, it gives us problems when ukipita mahali na our fellow men our comment. Hata wanga tumeingiza hii phrase out of 10. Out of 10, anakuambia 6. Unaona, 6 kweli, I need to do something. Lazima niongeze ikuwe 9. So tunaangalianga kuna hiyo ranking. So men always love taking care of their women. And in fact, the phrase that we always use, we don't fear women. We're just careful with them.
Yeah.
Because we always look at it from this angle, ni mimi ndio nikimtrigger, something can happen.
Just hold on to that. Ni mimi nikimtrigger, something can happen. Let's get this call from Horace. Horace, good morning. It's Maurice?
Hello,
okay, Maurice, good morning.
To you.
Good. Talk to us.
Yes, can I proceed?
Yes, please.
Yeah, this topic is imenibamba sana. What I can say ni kwamba take time to fear women. Why men fear women?
Yeah.
That is a question. And ikiwa wanaume wa fear women, hatungekuwa hapa duniani.
Yes.
Then Biblia inasema handle them with care because they are weaker vessels. So how can you fear weaker vessel? Mimi mwenyewe am a polygamist, and I used to use the biblical term. Na wapenda nao wananipenda kulingana na vile tumewasiliana. So mimi ningeaji wanaume, let them not fear women. Women are those people to be tamed.
All right.
According to the Bible.
Maurice,
alafu kile nikimalizia nasema kuna categories ya wanaume ya wamama ambaye inafaa wawe feared. Category 1 are the single ones, and category 2 are those who are called commercial sex workers. Category 3 wale wanajiita prostitutes, who are sex commercial workers. Wao ni wembe watakuramba vile kijana yangu amesema hapo. So we should not fear women. Women are good people.
Women are good people.
Inategemea vile unamuhandle. Without them, hata hiyo boma itaitwa boma.
All right, Maurice, thank you so much for calling, and you will go to heaven direct. Women are good people, handle them with care. That is Maurice from Kibera. Gladson, you were talking to us about handle them with care as well, something about that triggering women. Maybe you can proceed from that.
Yeah, so if you trigger them, because I was arguing with someone about the nature of love. Nikamwambia, women don't even know how to love. It is men who love. But people don't actually understand this. And that's how utapata mtu anashinda kuuliza msichana, how much do you love me? Why don't you love me? You're like, bro, the problem is you. Because women are good receivers and they are good reactors. So wewe ndio unampea your love. Then what he does with that love, sasa hata mwenyewe atajua, ita happen to yeye mwenyewe, atakuwa submissive, atakuwa loyal, atakuwa caring, atafanya everything else because of what she's receiving. So if you find a situation whereby now you are coming out from being careful with a woman, you are now becoming fearful of the same woman, it means something is amiss. And this thing itaweza kuwa kwamba ni probably you missed something. And this thing is, you didn't look at their background, because you cannot be talking about women without looking at the genesis. Why are women like this? And which society are we living in, ya saa hii, as compared to ya kitambo? Kitambo kulikuwa very submissive people, they understood everything about them. But saa hii mimi nasemanga hivi, I'm a gender person, I advocate for gender equity, not equality. Equity. Let men be men, let women be women. Just create an environment whereby a woman can be a woman and a man can be a man. Don't try to show a lady that they can be equal to men, because we can't be equal, because even our purpose on earth is different. We can never be, unless we want now God again to now create a new universe whereby now we'll be living in isolation, which is very complicated. So as I finish, this is what I can say. When it comes to matters handling women, we cannot, you can fear as much as possible. Everyone is dangerous. Men can be dangerous, women can be dangerous. But the determining factor is one. How much how far are you willing to go with a person in terms of tolerating them? And are you ready to love? Are you ready to take care of someone's daughter? Are you ready to take care of someone's son? If you are not able to do either of the two, wachana na wanaume, wachana na wanawake. You will continue making money, continue being who you want to be in the society, and just improve yourself when the right time comes. Because even the Bible says, he who finds a good wife, not who finds a good girlfriend. So you don't need to even have a girlfriend at the moment. Just make sure yourself that uko sawa, everything is okay, emotionally, financially, because one thing naambianga watu, if you cannot take care of a woman, don't get in a relationship.
Waache kusumbuana.
Waache kusumbua watu.
Maybe you can read a few reactions before we proceed from X. Even as we wait for that, I'll just sample a few here on WhatsApp. And this is Miss Lagat. She's saying those women who are being feared are the ones who have been through a lot in the hands of men. I tell you, Maina, those women are in revenge mission. We no longer trust men, so we can do anything. Continue fearing us. You are the cause. This is Mercy from Kasarani. Mercy. Let's get another one here. She's saying, hello, Winnie here. Nasema tuned in kama kawaida. I think women are generally mirrors. What you give is what you get. They reflect on how you treat them. You can't disrespect a woman and expect royalty treatment. You give us a house, we make it a home. You give us a village, we make it a community. Respect goes both ways. That is Winnie there. Wanjiru is saying, all in respect to women. This is Kicks, and he's talking about both women and men at a point in life do outrageous things out here in terms of everything, including relationships. It's just that most of the time it's surprising that women can do such shocking stuff contrary to the society expectation. And for that, now the phrase fewer women evolves, but this gender is very much harmless and wonderfully made to make the world a better place. Can we have now the ones from X as well? The Digital Society is saying, haha, I really got banned in hell here on earth. She was really manipulative. She even made my sister and my aunts not to talk to me for almost a year because she believed I'm the bad one. Nikikumbuka nilienda kwa with all my relatives for dowry, tukiwa motorcade kama ya prezo. If you are into her A-list, then you have a lot to fear. If you're not in her A-list, that is nation, the earlier you cut links, the better for you. How do you know that you are in a woman's A-list, Sagini?
Honestly, it is difficult to know whether you are in the A list. I think A list is the priority list. It is difficult and challenging to tell that you are in that list because I'd already said that the degree of pretense and hypocrisy is high. It is difficult to tell whether you are because the lady can pretend. She can make you feel that you are the one, only to be surprised that you are maybe the seventh. So it's difficult to tell.
You say that seventh in fashion segment.
It's difficult.
Kwani ushawahi?
I haven't gone through that, but I've seen or I've heard friends saying about it. The friends who have gone through that.
Yeah.
So honestly, it is difficult to tell what Nashon has said that it is difficult to know whether you are in the first priority list, that's a list, or whether you are the last one.
Yeah.
Lastly, to react to what my friends have said about the empowerment, what we men, we are not told is how to empower the empowered women.
Okay.
We have grown in a tradition whereby men have always perceived to be the leading. When a woman gets empowered, there's that feeling uneasy, that from the side of men. A man feels that maybe if my wife want to get a salary equal to mine, the respect I'm getting as the one who provides may reduce because she can decide I want to go my life. So what now we need to talk as a society is how to handle these empowered women. We don't mean that they should not be empowered. We want them to be empowered.
Yeah.
In fact, women are the people who have made us to be who we are. We are proud of them. The only issue we have here, the only animal here is that we need to be cautious on how to handle them.
Women are good, but you have a bat. Again, you have to decide. You have to decide where you stand. And you know, whatever Nashin is talking about there, there's a comment here from Fadi. I think it's Fadi, and he's saying, how do I understand she loves me? Very, very valid question, you know. So Daisy, I'll pose that question to you. How can Fadi understand that his woman loves him?
Okay, you'll understand when a woman loves you. A woman who respects you, loves you. A woman who supports you, specifically your career, who shares ideas to you. Anakupenda. Juu mimi, I cannot like support, unaniuliza like, I have this money, na niko na business, nifanye gani, and then mimi nitakuambia, kama sikupendi nitakuambia, hata usifanye nayo kitu, like, I just want to see you fail, you see? But kama nakupenda, I'll give you an idea. So you'll know when a woman loves you.
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
Some way?
First of all, when I would want to tell Sagini, when you want to know you are in a list of a woman, the priority list, if, for example, if I fail to, let's say we've not talked for 3 days and I feel something is not okay on my side, I'll be like, indeed, I love that man. So I think even for a man, I'll always feel the same energy. If I fail to talk to someone 3 days, then and after I'll be like, so we love each other. So there's always a chemistry working between people who love each other. And also, how do you know a lady loves you? What this has been responding to? I feel like a man, when you want to understand that a lady loves you, it's the priority. Like if you are telling me, I need to do this, and I'll provide a better idea. Like we can do this together. We can do this better. Also, there's as a woman, when I love someone, I'll switch off my mind whenever I'm with him. For like, I want to use his mind.
You know, Julius Malema, that is from South Africa. You can't love a person to that extent. Why are you switching off your mind?
Yes, I need to feel safe around you. So if I switch off my mind, you'll be like, okay, if she trusts me, of course I can't trust you if I don't love you. So the first thing is also the trust. The trust that I give you. If I switch off my mind, you'll be like, okay, she's in the safe environment, meaning I love you. I think that's the first thing, feeling safe around someone. If I prove that I can feel safe around you, if I can do anything around you, that's the priority list that I love you. Also, or just generally life, we ought that women should support their, let's say their spouses, their whatever. So if I go up to the highest level I can to offer you the support that you need from me, just know I love you. Hakuna venye nitakuonyesha otherwise.
Utajua tu when you know, you know.
Tu nakupenda.
Rejoice, you're responding to Fedi. Ameuliza, how do I understand that she loves me? Inaka imemsumbua sana.
All right, for me I would say, if you want to understand whether she loves you or not, let there be congruence in your definition of love, okay? Like what you think love is and what you portray to her, let there be some congruence. You see, like, if you feel like love should be this and this, first of all, practice that, live by that, have peace with it. And then now you can be able to judge whether she loves you or not. So it starts from you as a person before you go to the other person. If you ever feel like somebody loves you or not, first of all, ask yourself. Yeah, because, you know, garbage in, garbage out. It's what is within you. That's why you're having that question. Yeah.
You know, sometimes they ask, how do you know if you're depressed? That question in itself, you are depressed. Sasa we anauliza, how do I understand she loves me?
Yes.
She doesn't. Because sasa anashuku.
Anze kwa yeye mwenyewe.
I work on the inner side.
Yes.
Esther.
Yes.
How can he know that the lady loves him?
Okay, first, love the action itself first. Like, does she respect you? Atoka kujana, you know, like, kuna time mtu kujana, okay, I don't know how to call it, but it's an idea, yes, but inakaa kaujinga ujinga, but how does she treat that idea? Like, okay, let's say it as a joke. Like, wataka uone, like, how does she take that one? Anakutusi ama anafanya, like, does she respect you first of all? Then ikifika maybe in, let's say in her friends, how does she treat you before her friends?
Yeah.
Anakutake like the first priority ama kwa nizile udio nawaambianga, you know kuna venye huwa una introduce unajua hapa.
You know.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Daniel. Daniel is calling from Kisumu. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning.
Talk to us.
I would like to contribute with regard to the topic of fear women.
Okay.
Okay. Nowadays, our women are empowered. But unfortunately, what I think we forgot to train them on is how to live with men in regard to their empowerment. They must accept that men are always the head of the family, and they are the neck.
Okay.
But mostly you find that once women are empowered, they want to be equal to men. And it brings that kind of conflict. Ask this question. Why is it that a man or a man can date a woman or can marry a woman who is not working?
Okay.
But a woman will, and very rare, will marry a man who is not working. Everything has become financial. People are talking, you treat your woman. What about if, yes, you can treat your woman, you are working, and unfortunately you lose your job? What happens? Because I saw somebody saying they cannot go where they are not supported. Yes, this man will support you. He will give you everything. But what about if that job or support ends? Does it mean you are going to walk out and go to another person because that is where you get the support? So women must be intentional when it comes to relationship. Men are always intentional.
Really?
They go to a woman when they know they want to be with that woman. But women are never intentional.
Okay.
That is where it comes that men fear them.
Asante sana. Thank you so much for calling in. Men are always intentional, women are not. I want the women to respond. Rejoice.
Honestly, that is relative. It is relative because you can't base it that it is women that are not intentional, men are intentional. Because we have seen men who date a girl or a lady for 10 years, and on the 11th year they marry somebody else. So they've basically wasted this person's time and resources and even energy. So I would say this applies on both genders. It is not just women. That is biased statement, actually.
Yeah, it's biased. He has also talked about something that I think it was you, Esther, who made that comment, that you have to go where you're supported. It was either you or Daisy who made that particular comment. Akauliza pale, what happens now when kazi yake ishe? What happens?
I will say it depends, like when you are earning, ama ulikuwa kazi, yes, how are you treating me? Yeah. Yes. Kama huko unaniprovidea na ulikuwa job. But for me, like mimi niko kazi sasa ume lose your job. It will be a fair game. How you treated me, I treat you the same.
Daisy, a reaction to that? What happens akipoteza kazi?
I believe also a woman is a mirror. Kama ulikuwa kazi na ulikuwa unanionyesha kiburi, you are not treating me, you never made me feel like you are a woman, like I'm dating someone who is working. Kazi yako imeisha. Why should I need to reciprocate. Kama ulikuwa huko unani treat again, I will. Yeah, so it is reciprocal. Woman is a mirror. Kenye unamfanyia ndio pia anakufanyia.
I hope Gilbert is still watching. Doris, what happens akipoteza kazi yake?
Akipoteza kazi, of which if this man was supporting me at that time, I'll also support, to my capability.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's revenge. Venye Gladson alisema pale, mtu anaweza fanya revenge hadi shetani ashangae.
Yes.
Yeye mwenyewe. All right, I want us to take a look at a few comments before we continue. Good morning, I'm Getich Hillary from Mombasa. We really need to fear women because they are the only creatures on earth who talk to a snake live. Okay. Good morning, TV47. Anasema women ability to be emotionally vulnerable can create pressure on men to open up and be vulnerable as well. Interesting. Is that really a concern, Gladson? Women ability to be emotionally vulnerable can create pressure on men to open up and be vulnerable as well. Why?
Yeah.
And Sagini is saying true. We are coming there.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And that is also one of the signs of love. Tumewatu wamekuwa kiongelelea about how do you know someone loves you?
Yeah.
It's simple. For you to know if a lady loves you, number one, she will always want to be around you. Number two, you will always feel like you are her peace. 3, she will not even care about your money. 4, she will always be checking up on you to make sure kwamba you have done the basics. The basics include how are you? Have you nakumbuka wakati ule that talk, was she Sandy or something? The Sandy wa TikTok. Yeah. Alikuwa anambia hawe kababa umekunywa chai.
Aliwacha? Aliwacha.
But you could get the reaction. Like men pia wanapenda hiyo kukua kubembelezwa. But yetu ni ya behind the scenes, not kwa public.
Kwa nini?
Okay, ni vile.
And you know why I'm asking kwa nini? Somebody has said men are intentional kushinda women. And if you're saying that women, we will show that we actually love you, but you doing it behind the scenes, then...
No, okay, I get your point. What I was trying to say in terms of kubembelezwa hii ya kababa, we love it inside the house. But expressing love, you can do it even in public. And coming back to the intention, yes, wanaume tuko very intentional.
Hold your microphone well.
For example, if I meet Daisy today, in our first talk, I will know if the relationship is going far or not. I will know from the first day. Nitajua. Na kama nimeblanda, nitaendelea tu kukaa naye lakini nikijua tu with time hapa natoka. Like I know from the word go. We are very intentional and we always know what we want. Kwa mfano maybe unaweza pata tunajua kuna some men who are weird. That's why tunasema fear women, but you can also fear men. For example, nilishaambia Daisy kwamba we need to be together. So tushaingia kwa relationship. Siwezi ingia na nitoke immediately. Maybe there is something I want from Daisy. So I will stay there until I get it. Kama ni pesa yake or any other thing, I will get.
Reason to fear men.
That I move. That's why nimekwambia you should. That's why nimesema you should also fear men because we are intentional with what we are doing. If anajua kwa mfano Rejoice cannot be the mother of my children, I'll be intentional with everything I do so that does not happen. In whatever way, hata ajaribu kukuwa as cunning as she can, it will never happen. So what I can say is, when people are in a relationship, especially a man and a woman, when a woman open up to a man, na ana find that peace, it is lacking kwake, the man can also do the same. I'm an example. Some time back I was actively dating, and if I could, the girl was vulnerable to me in all the ways that she could be. Na hata mimi mwenyewe nikienda, maybe I went to do a deal, it didn't go through, or I was looking for some sort of money na it didn't go through. Unakuja na mwambia, by the way, leo nimeenda huko and I feel bad because the person I've worked for, I'm been disappointed, I feel so low, I feel so bad, I feel like I can even hit someone, but the reaction was wow. Unaona, the reaction was so different. Unafind kwamba the reaction of the girl itanifanya the next time I have a problem, she will be the first person I think about. I need to talk to my girl. Lazima nimwambie kitu because I know she will definitely know how to make me feel okay. So it is possible and it is okay for men, and as a mental health advocate wanga naambia watu this thing kwamba it is men also speak up. It is just that huyu msichana wanga na respond aje when I do that. Mimi nikikuja nikwambia how vulnerable I am, alafu unaniambia I am a man, I should be strong. That's the end of it.
Get out.
Hakuna story tunaendelea, imeishia hapo. Why should okay, I know I'm a man. Did you have to remind me that I'm a man? You don't need to remind me. So if you are you get into kwa mfano hata wewe ni mwanahabari, kuna story ukisoma hapa you will be smiling, right?
Yes.
Kuna story ukisoma hapa you will frown kidogo to show the sadness in the story. So you can imagine mimi naambia mtu my sad story, alafu ananiambia you are a man, you need to be strong. So like we are already having contrary emotions.
Yes.
Una get? So for me I feel kwamba this is not my safe space. Now since you are not my safe space and I'm looking at a person mwenye I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with, so mimi nitakuwa nikiwa na shida naambiwa I be strong, lakini yeye akiwa na shida I should now understand she's a woman, she's vulnerable and stuff like that. No, there's always a thin line between being a man and being a normal human being.
Okay, a man and a normal human being. Interesting. Sagini, you were nodding to this comment. It's from Victor. Akisema, women's ability to be emotionally vulnerable can create pressure on men to open up and be vulnerable as well. Nini mwanamke wako akiwa vulnerable, mbona nakustop from being vulnerable as well?
Sometimes there's that feeling that a man must be strong. You don't need to cry like a baby, like a...
Before you even continue, that women will love you. You see, when you do that, you'll not be experienced.
But these things really happen. It happens. And at first we had said it's difficult to tell whether a woman loves you. So when you are vulnerable, it's difficult for you to open up to that culture to tell her this is what this I'm going through. Women generally, suppose a lady comes here and she speaks her mind, oh, this is what I'm going through. I think there's that feeling from men that this lady need to be assisted. Even in our offices, even in government offices, a young boy can go requesting for bursary. Maybe he's an orphan, but you won't be assisted. But suppose a girl child goes from even the way they speak, the one who's supposed to assist can get provoked and say, oh, let me assist this girl child. So as a result of assisting your girlfriend, you get pressure. And as a result, you come vulnerable as well. Yeah, because you have that pressure, how can I assist this girl child? Yeah, so those things happen.
All right, let's sample a few comments one more time on WhatsApp before we go back to X. She's saying, hi, Nikkei from Kanairo. It's a very, very long message. It has a read more, a disclaimer. Why would men fear women? Why does it tend to apply for the working women, not women in general? Therefore, the topic should be specific to only working women, not women in general. A reaction to that, Robert. Tuanzie hapo kwanza, because it's very, very long and he has very, very valid questions.
Okay. For me, I believe, to some extent, I may support her because just like they normally say that a broke man humbles himself compared to a man who has got money. Similar to ladies out there, you realize that those ladies who are educated and have got good jobs and lots of money are the ones, in most cases, men normally fear. For example, I'm jobless or I'm yet to get formal employment. This lady is already working. She has got a lot of money. There is no point whereby you'll hear me maybe complaining as to why she came home very late. Because probably she's the one who feeds me. Chances are, once I provoke her asking how she's coming home late, tomorrow she's likely to ask me now, what about supper? What are we gonna eat today? Yeah, because you are the head of the house. You see, because of that reason, I'm likely to keep quiet because I'm staying with this woman who is much more ahead of me when it comes to money. Another thing, you people are also talking about the difference between empowerment and also the manner in which women are feared. I want to say that all this may have been brought by modernity. You realize that in the past, fewer people were going to school, were educated. By that time, people who are in love or people who are in marriage were embracing Africanization, whereby they just understood that a man is the one a woman should be submissive to. And therefore, should even if the man had a lot of money or not, this woman will fear the man. But you see, because of modernization, whereby we are telling women that what a man can do, a woman can do better, there is no point of this woman saying that now she's going to respect the man. And the difference which comes also between the empowerment and the manner in which women are feared, I can also say that it is a factor because women, a man can say that he's empowering a woman maybe to have a lot of money to be independent. But you know, our girls of nowadays, once they are empowered, they now go an extent of even using that power and money to look good to other men out there.
Wewe wacha mambo yako.
No. That's the
Wacha kabisa. Kay, to some comments from Kay again, and he's saying they only say men should learn how to deal with modern women. Does the word modern applies only to the educated or empowered ones? Rejoice.
Okay, modern.
Anasema hapa, does the word modern applies only to the educated or empowered ones?
I would like to say that modern refers to the woman of today, the contemporary woman. You know, with the women that have, that courtesy of the late Mwai Kibaki, we have received a free education and, you know, equal to every child, whether a male or a female. And so modern means the contemporary woman, the today's woman. And I wonder why today we should have those categories of working women, working this. You know, you'll never hear people say, or most of the time say, working men. You know why that is that way? Because, again, we are coming from a period of oppression against women, where women were not allowed to work. Women were domestic, they were nurturers. And even if you look at our socialization, you know, family, from the family being the basic unit of a society, you find that if your parent wants to buy you people gifts as children, and you have a brother and a sister, the brother is given maybe some plane, a toy plane, and the sister is given maybe a kitchen set or a toy, you know, with hair, she should be combing and all that. You know, and we learned from an early age the place of women and the place of men. And that is why now when we grow up, these things catch up with us. Because it is not true. Because look at like the best captain that we have in Kenya, Captain Koki. She's a woman. What if during her early socialization, she was given that chopper to be playing around, you know? Maybe should be even the best in the world. So I think some of these problems of working women, then we don't categorize men into working men and stay-at-home men. It is because of our socialization.
Stay-at-home men is quite interesting, and I'd love to get their opinion on that. But maybe we can go to X first before we continue with WhatsApp. Yes. I once met Satan in form of a human being, that is Mosebu. Jackson is saying, I dodged a bullet, but at what cost? na I had spent on her vibaya sana, na nilimtengenezea nywele a lot of times, shopping, rent, hadi mattress ya 6x6. Take me back to 2022. I want to rectify those messes. That is Jackson. Victor is saying, she told me she was going to visit her friend Sharon on a Friday so that they could go for a girls' night out, or whatever you call it. I called at around 10 p.m. and she confirmed she was with Sharon, and she said hi. I was Sharon that day, and we were both shocked. All right. What an igaidi, they should all be feared. This one is saying, they said they loved me, nikafungua mlango ya wallet, that is Sako. Nimeoshwa mara kadhaa. Jackson again. I was also told akona mtoi ushago, which turned to be true, something she hadn't disclosed to me from that day I feared women. Hata mamangu simwamini sana. Interesting. Nilipush na dem for 4 months. Ile tu fan as friends. She was insisting ni muoe. Good Samaritan akanishow time Chinese walikuwa wakijenga barabara along Chuka. Alikuwa prostitute, a place called Moi Girls. After walimaliza, she reformed, akaanza kuuza mayai kwa mjengo. Okay. Anasema, this is Job. He says, came from work, found a vacated house. Where did she take my clothes to? They wouldn't fit her. Fear women. Anasema, unakaa na mwanamke kwa nyumba lakini mali anagawa kwa jirani, masaa anajifanya ameenda kuoga. Them always talking about the good guy in past tense. That is Kevin Onyuro. I think this is the last one. Women are there to punish simps and emasculated men. Also, hypergamy doesn't care any shifts. If your frame is weak, you get your L's. You pick your L's and you go. Hi, because time is also running, I want us to sample a few comments as well on WhatsApp before we close. Back to K, and this one goes to you, Doris. He's asking, this fallacy that women and only them can manipulate men emotionally is not true. And even if it's true, does it apply to all women or only empowered ones? To Doris. To Doris. Yes.
Okay, I think it applies to mostly empowered women. Yeah.
That women and only them can manipulate men. Empowered women are the ones manipulating men? Really? Samoi amekataa, hata mimi nakataa. Samoi, empowered women only manipulate, are the only ones who manipulate men, according to Doris, amekubali.
I don't think that's the right term to say that empowered women are the only ones who can manipulate men. Most of the women, like, it's inherent that women are emotional. But you see, if I'm empowered, I don't have anything to manipulate to a man. Like, I have my own money. What am I coming to manipulate you for? Maybe for promotion only, but I don't have to manipulate you. I have the things that I've done that proves I need promotion. So it's not empowered women. I think manipulation comes in the aspect that I need really something that I don't have. That's only when manipulation comes, and anyone can manipulate anyone for it. It's not the empowered women.
All right. Huyu educated women wamemkasirisha kabisa. And he continues to say, why do women think that they understand men, but men don't understand them? Again, this appears to be for the educated ones, my take. Anasema, once a woman, always a woman, whether empowered or not. Men, always men, whether educated or not. That is K. Thank you so much for your views. The problem is that while we empowered women, we didn't train our men on how to live with an empowered woman. Men want to do great things for women, but these days they have a misconception that women have taken their stuff by being empowered. Now this makes them really bitter, Dr. Delphina from Meru. It makes you bitter, Robert? That women are empowered?
Not really. You know, it all depends. Did you find this woman when she was already empowered, or you also contributed to some extent in empowering her? I don't think you can be bitter when she's empowered a time when she was growing, you were together with that particular woman. So I do not concur with that assertion that you become bitter when she becomes empowered.
When she's empowered. It's Hillsden, and according to me, women should not be feared but be handled with a lot of care. And boy child should be careful around them since the world sides with girls. And I don't know why. For example, if a girl sues a boy, the case will definitely go through. Why are women giving the top priority in some cases, e.g. harassment, even if it's a lie? Esther, reaction to that?
Come again.
I come again? All right. Anasema, why are women given the top priority in some cases, even if it's a lie?
Nowadays, let me say, we have been having so many programs of empowering women. And in there, we are being educated, like knowing our rights. But I would say we are not shown like, okay, yes, you have taught me about my right. When do I know that this is my right? Because you find like if I'm the one who have harassed a man sexually, nitaenda niseme the other way, because I'm saying it's my right. I should not be harassed. It's my right to privacy, and yet I'm the one who have not given the other gender the privacy. So because also I know when nikienda mbele I'm a lady, nitasikizwa. So kama nimeenda the first one, nimekuwa wa kwanza kufika, kenye chote nitasema even if it's a lie, to them it's true.
All right. Final comments, of course, as we close, everyone has had up time to just give their parting shot. But he's saying, morning as for me, I can say women are to be feared, because if they perished, if they killed Solomon, who had wisdom above every man in the whole world, who are we to them? That is Roni. Kevin from Nairobi is saying, I think the best answer for me is to fear women forever. Same gender lied to Adam. And Asema, to be sincere, as a man, women loves men more than the men love them, but men respect women more than women respect them. Interesting. Okay. We actually don't force men to do some favors for us. How can you pay fees or rent to a woman who can change any time? Kama to vibe jua nitakuacha at some point. You will continue getting character development. Support your parents instead. Fear women. And Asema, good morning all. That one we already went through it. And that's it. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this conversation. Parting shot to Masema. No fearing women, respect, empowerment.
Or both.
And?
Or both.
Or both. Respect, fear, or both. Thank you so much. And Sagin, you find a ground to stand on. You don't be cautious. Women are good people. Thank you so much for watching. That brings us to the end of this conversation and to the end of this show. My name is Anne Odida. See you next time, inshallah.